The filthy humans of Sol 3's technology level is equivalent to early space travel now. How can this be? Earth was supposed to stay a dirt planet. Counselor Xyloth slammed a tentacle on the sleek metal podium, his outburst reverberating through the grand chamber. The Galactic Council Assembly fell silent, the implications of this revelation settling heavily upon every member present. Just moments ago, they were discussing trivial matters, safe in the knowledge that the universe remained as it should be. But now, reports from their long-range probes painted a picture none of them could have anticipated. Humanity, a species they had long dismissed as primitive and unimportant, had somehow advanced far beyond their expectations. Randy Cooper, a human scientist at NASA, had been the first to notice something amiss. It started as a seemingly average day, with Randy analyzing data from a powerful new telescope. But then he detected it, an unusual signal from deep space. After hours of decoding, Randy realized it was a message from an advanced alien civilization known as the Arcturians. The message revealed that the Arcturians had been observing Earth for centuries and were shocked by humanity's rapid progress. But there was more. The Arcturians warned of a looming threat from a hostile alien race known as the Zorgons. This warlike species sought to conquer and enslave other races, and they viewed humanity's advancement as a potential threat to their dominance. The Zorgons were already planning an invasion of Earth. Faced with this imminent danger, Randy and his team raced against time to establish direct communication with the Arcturians and the Galactic Council. They hoped to convince the Council to intervene on Earth's behalf and help defend against the Zorgons. But as Randy soon discovered, the Council had a strict non-interference policy with primitive planets. Many Council members were hesitant to get involved in what they saw as a local conflict. Earth's fate hung by a thread. As the plot unfolded, Randy emerged as humanity's best hope. His scientific brilliance, resourcefulness, and determination would be put to the ultimate test. He would need to navigate complex alien politics, forge alliances with sympathetic council members, and find a way to unite humanity in the face of its greatest challenge yet. With the stakes higher than ever, Randy and his allies embarked on a desperate mission to prepare Earth's defenses and stop the Zorgon invasion before it was too late. The fate of all humanity rested on their shoulders as an epic confrontation loomed. Between humans, the Galactic Council, and the ruthless Zorgons. The survival of Earth and the human race was far from certain in this high-stakes galactic conflict. As the weight of the galaxy pressed down on Randy's shoulders, he threw himself into his work with a ferocity that surprised even his closest colleagues. Days turned into weeks as he pored over the Arcturian message, deciphering every nuance and detail. He reached out to the Arcturians, desperately trying to establish a direct line of communication. It was during one of these long nights that an unexpected visitor arrived at NASA headquarters. Pixis, the Arcturian leader who had been monitoring Earth's situation, materialized in Randy's office, his iridescent skin casting a soft glow in the dimly lit room. "Dr. Cooper," Pixis began, his voice resonating with urgency, "I come bearing news both hopeful and dire." Randy leaned forward, his eyes locked on the alien. "What do you mean?" "I have managed to convince a small faction within the Galactic Council to support Earth in the face of the Zorgon threat," Pixis explained. "But we must act swiftly and covertly to avoid arousing suspicion." The Arcturian leader shared critical intelligence about the Zorgons' military capabilities and their imminent plans to invade Earth. He also presented Randy with a cache of advanced Arcturian technology, energy weapons, and shielding devices that could significantly bolster Earth's defenses. Randy and his team wasted no time. They worked around the clock, studying and reverse engineering the Arcturian tech, integrating it seamlessly into Earth's existing defense systems. The lab buzzed with activity as scientists and engineers pushed themselves to their limits, fueled by a mix of fear and tenacity. But Randy knew that technology alone would not be enough. They needed allies. Together with Pixis, he devised a plan to rally support from other races within the Galactic Council. They identified key members who might be sympathetic to their cause, and Randy prepared to embark on a secret diplomatic mission. Pixis provided him with a cloaked Arcturian spacecraft, a sleek vessel that could traverse the galaxy undetected. As Randy stepped aboard, he felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. He was about to set foot on alien worlds, to negotiate with beings he had never imagined existed. His first stop was Sirius, home to a technologically advanced civilization. The Sirians greeted him with cautious curiosity, their silver eyes assessing him carefully. Randy pleaded Earth's case, emphasizing the potential for a mutually beneficial alliance. The Sirians, ever pragmatic, agreed to lend their support, recognizing the threat the Zorgons posed to the galaxy at large. Next, Randy visited the Andromedans, a proud and militant race. Their leaders, clad in gleaming armor, listened intently as he described the impending Zorgon invasion. The Andromedans, valuing honor and courage above all else, pledged their warriors to the cause, eager to test their mettle against the Zorgons. The Delphinoids, an enigmatic race known for their psychic abilities, proved more challenging to convince. Randy found himself navigating a labyrinth of mental projections and emotional undercurrents as he tried to make his case. In the end, the Delphinoids agreed to share their unique abilities, recognizing that the fate of humanity and all alien species hung in the balance. As Randy's diplomatic mission progressed, he uncovered a shocking truth. The Zorgons had been manipulating the Galactic Council for centuries, using bribery, blackmail, and even mind control to keep the other races under their thumb. Their goal was not just to conquer Earth, but to use it as a launching pad for a galaxy-wide invasion. The stakes had never been higher. Randy realized that he was not just fighting for Earth, but for the freedom of every sentient being in the galaxy. He redoubled his efforts, working tirelessly to expose the Zorgons' treachery and unite the Council against them. But the path ahead was fraught with danger. Zorgon agents, determined to silence Randy, launched a series of assassination attempts. Skeptical Council members, swayed by the Zorgons' influence, pushed back against his efforts. Yet Randy refused to back down. With each challenge, each setback, his persistence only grew stronger. He knew that failure was not an option, that the fate of Earth and the entire galaxy rested on his shoulders. As he pressed forward, Randy could feel the weight of billions of lives hanging in the balance. But he also felt a glimmer of hope, a sense that maybe, just maybe, he could pull off the impossible. With his newfound allies, with the advanced Arcturian technology, and with the unwavering dedication of the human spirit, Randy prepared to face the Zorgons head-on, ready to fight for the future of the galaxy. Randy stepped off the Arcturian spacecraft, his eyes adjusting to the familiar light of Earth's sun. The weight of his recent diplomatic mission hung heavy on his shoulders, but a fire burned in his chest. He had allies now, but the real challenge was just beginning. "Pixis, we need to move fast," Randy said, turning to the Arcturian leader. "The Zorgons won't wait for us to get our act together." Pixis nodded, his iridescent skin shimmering. "Agreed. We must convene the summit immediately." Over the next few days, Randy and Pixis worked tirelessly, using advanced Arcturian communication technology to send encrypted invitations across the galaxy. Each message was carefully crafted to avoid detection by Zorgon spies or Council loyalists. Soon, representatives from Earth's new alien allies began arriving at the remote Arcturian outpost. The Sirians came first, their silver eyes scanning the surroundings warily. The Andromedans followed, their armor clanking as they disembarked from their ships. Last came the Delphinoids, floating silently into the meeting chamber. Randy stood at the head of a large circular table, facing the assembled aliens. The atmosphere crackled with tension and suspicion. "I know many of you have reservations about being here," Randy began, his voice steady. "But the threat we face is greater than any one of our civilizations." He activated a holographic display, showing intercepted Zorgon communications and battle plans. The aliens murmured among themselves, their expressions ranging from shock to disbelief. "This can't be true," a Sirian representative said, leaning forward. "The Zorgons have always been contained to their sector." Randy shook his head. "They've been playing us all for fools. Look at this." He pulled up another set of data, revealing the extent of Zorgon infiltration in the Galactic Council. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. An Andromedan warrior smacked his palm on the table. "We cannot allow this treachery to stand. We must strike now." "It's not that simple," Randy countered. "We need a unified plan. Each of you brings unique strengths to the table. Together we have a chance." Hours turned into days as they debated strategy. The Syrians offered advanced shielding technology, while the Andromedans pledged their battle fleets. Even the enigmatic Delphinoids agreed to use their psychic abilities to gather intelligence. Just as they were making progress, alarms blared throughout the outpost. Pixis burst into the room, his usual calm demeanor shattered. "Zorgon agents have breached our defenses," he shouted. "They're trying to sabotage the summit." Randy sprang into action. "Pixis, lock down the command center. Andromedans, secure the perimeter. Syrians, get those shields up. Delphinoids, we need you to scan for hidden threats." The outpost erupted into chaos. Randy and Pixis raced through corridors, coordinating the defense. They narrowly avoided a Zorgon assassin's energy blast, diving behind a console. "We can't let them stop us now," Randy growled, grabbing a fallen Syrian weapon. He popped up, firing at the Zorgon and catching it square in the chest. For hours, they fought off wave after wave of Zorgon infiltrators. Randy's heart pounded as he realized how close they'd come to failure. But as the dust settled, he saw something that gave him hope. The alien representatives fighting side by side, united against a common enemy. When the last Zorgon agent was captured, Randy called the summit back to order. The mood had shifted dramatically. "You've shown us the true face of our enemy," the Syrian leader said, nodding to Randy. "We stand with Earth." One by one, the other representatives echoed the sentiment. As the summit concluded, they turned to Randy expectantly. "We need someone to coordinate our efforts," the Andromedan commander said. "Someone who understands what we're up against." Randy felt the weight of their stares. He took a deep breath, knowing that his next words would shape the future of the galaxy. "I accept the responsibility," he said firmly. "But this isn't about me. It's about all of us, working together to stop the Zorgons and protect our homes." As the representatives filed out, preparing to return to their worlds and rally their forces, Randy turned to Pixis. "We've got a lot of work to do," he said, his mind already racing with plans. "Let's get back to Earth and start preparing our defenses. The real fight is just beginning." Randy stepped off the Arcturian ship onto Earth soil, his mind racing with plans and possibilities. Pixis and a team of Arcturian scientists followed close behind, their iridescent skin shimmering in the sunlight. "We need to get to work immediately," Randy said, turning to face his alien allies. "Every second counts." They wasted no time setting up in a secure underground facility. Randy watched in awe as the Arcturians unpacked devices he could barely comprehend. Energy weapons that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Shields that could withstand forces beyond human imagination. And tucked away in a corner, a prototype FTL drive that made Randy's heart race with excitement. Days blurred together as they worked tirelessly. Randy's fingers flew across holographic displays, inputting data and running simulations. The Arcturians moved with fluid precision, their tools emitting soft hums and pulses of light as they disassembled and reassembled alien tech. "We're making progress," Pixis said, his multifaceted eyes gleaming. "But the Zorgons won't wait forever." Randy nodded grimly. "I know. We need to—" His words were cut off by a priority transmission. General Thompson's face appeared on screen, looking grave. "Cooper, we need you at HQ now. The situation's escalating." At NASA headquarters, Randy found himself surrounded by military brass and government officials. He laid out their progress and the potential of the alien technology. "We need to coordinate with our new allies," Randy explained. "The Syrians have weapons that could turn the tide. The Andromedans are sending warriors to train our troops." As if on cue, a towering figure entered the room. Commander Tyr of the Andromedans, his battle-scarred armor gleaming. "We stand ready to fight beside you," Tyr's voice boomed. "Let us prepare your warriors for the coming storm." Over the next weeks, Randy watched as humanity's defenses took shape. Syrian particle cannons were mounted on bases around the globe. Andromedan warriors drilled human soldiers in combat techniques refined over millennia. But the Zorgons weren't idle. As Randy pored over data in the command center, alarms blared to life. "Massive object detected on long-range scanners," and technicians shouted. "It's on a collision course with Earth." Randy's blood ran cold. "The Zorgons, they're testing us." He sprinted to the prototype shield generator, Pixis at his side. They worked furiously, rerouting power and calibrating the untested device. "It's not going to be enough," Randy muttered, sweat beading on his forehead. "Have faith," Pixis replied calmly. The asteroid filled the sky, a harbinger of destruction. Randy held his breath as he activated the shield. A shimmering dome of energy sprang to life, enveloping the Earth. The impact was deafening. The shield flickered, straining under the immense force. For a heart-stopping moment, Randy thought it would fail, but it held, barely, deflecting the asteroid into deep space. As the dust settled, Randy knew their real work was just beginning. He threw himself into evacuation plans, designing underground bunkers that could withstand Zorgon weapons. Then, without warning, the Delphinoids arrived. Ethereal beings of pure energy, they approached Randy with an offer he couldn't refuse. "We can link your mind with ours," they whispered in his thoughts, "to give you the edge you need." Randy hesitated, but only for a moment. He stepped into a circle of Delphinoids, their energy surrounding him. Pain lanced through his skull as the psychic link formed. Suddenly, his mind exploded with new awareness. Tactical insights flooded his consciousness, and deep within, he felt something awaken, a latent power he never knew he possessed. As he emerged from the ritual, Randy locked eyes with Pixis. They both knew the final battle was approaching. Earth's defenders stood ready, a patchwork alliance of humans and aliens united against the Zorgon threat. Randy clenched his fists, feeling the weight of billions of lives on his shoulders. The Zorgons were coming, and he would be ready. Randy stood in the command center, his eyes fixed on the massive holographic display. The red dots representing the Zorgon fleet crept closer to Earth with each passing second. His heart pounded in his chest as he watched humanity's doom approach. Suddenly, the display flickered. A grotesque alien face filled the screen. Overlord Craxus. His eyes glowed with malevolent glee as he spoke. "Humans," Craxus's voice boomed through the speakers. "Your pitiful defenses are no match for the might of the Zorgon Empire. Surrender now, and we may spare a few of you as slaves. Resist, and we will turn your world to ash." Randy's fists clenched. He leaned forward, his voice steady as he responded. "We will never surrender, Craxus. Earth stands ready to fight." The Zorgon overlord's laughter echoed through the command center before the transmission cut off. Randy turned to face the assembled military leaders and alien allies. "This is it," he said. "Everything we've prepared for comes down to this moment. Let's show these Zorgon bastards what Earth and her allies can do." The room erupted into action. Randy's fingers flew across holographic control panels, coordinating the global defense network. Outside, the sky lit up as Syrian particle beam cannons powered up, their energy crackling through the air. Shimmering domes of energy enveloped major cities as deflector shields snapped into place. On the front lines, Andromedan warriors took up positions alongside human soldiers. Their massive forms dwarfed their Earth allies, but a shared sense of purpose united them. Randy felt a sudden pressure in his mind as the Delphinoids established their psychic link. His awareness expanded, encompassing the entire battlefield. He sensed the fear and drive of every soldier, the hum of every weapon system. And then he felt them, the Zorgons. A vast, malevolent presence bearing down on Earth. Randy's breath caught in his throat as he realized the true scale of the invasion force. The first Zorgon ships entered the atmosphere. Their energy weapons lashed out, slamming into the Syrian shields. For a moment, it seemed the defenses would hold. Then, with a sound like shattering glass, the shields failed. Randy watched in horror as entire city blocks vanished in blinding flashes of light. The psychic link transmitted the terror and pain of millions dying in an instant. He staggered, nearly overwhelmed by the sensation. "Focus, Randy!" General Thompson's voice cut through the chaos. "We need to hit back now!" Randy nodded, pushing aside the anguish. He gave the order, and Earth's experimental weapons roared to life. Graviton beams lanced upward, warping space itself around the Zorgon ships. Quantum disruptors fired, their beams bypassing shields to strike directly at the enemy vessels. Several Zorgon capital ships listed in the sky, trailing debris and venting atmosphere. A cheer went up from the command center, but Randy knew the battle was not nearly finished. As the conflict raged, Randy received an urgent transmission from a Syrian outpost. His blood ran cold as he listened to the report. Compromised council members, their minds twisted by Zorgon influence, were sabotaging key defense systems. "We have to stop them," Randy said, turning to his team. "But be careful. These aren't our enemies, they're victims." He rushed to intercept one such saboteur, his heart heavy. As he rounded a corner, he came face to face with Ambassador Catal of the Rigelians, a being he had come to consider a friend and mentor. Catal's eyes were vacant, his movements jerky and unnatural. In his hand, he held a Zorgon plasma cutter, ready to slice through crucial power conduits. "Catal, please," Randy pleaded. "Fight it. This isn't you." For a moment, recognition flickered in the alien's eyes. Then it was gone, replaced by cold hostility. Catal lunged forward, the plasma cutter humming with deadly energy. Randy dodged, his enhanced reflexes saving him from certain death. He knew he had no choice. With a heavy heart, he activated a neural disruptor, firing a pulse that dropped Catal to the ground, unconscious, but alive. As Randy secured his fallen friend, alarms blared throughout the facility. He raced back to the command center, arriving just in time to see a new threat materialize on the tactical display. At the heart of the Zorgon fleet, a massive device pulsed with ominous energy. The Singularity Generator, a weapon capable of devouring entire worlds. Randy locked eyes with Pixis, the Arcturian's expression grim. They both knew what had to be done. "Prepare a strike team," Randy ordered. "We're taking the fight to Kraxus himself."
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.